A very good evening, a very good morning, a very good afternoon from wherever you're listening in from. We thank you very much for keeping time and being present today. You are most welcome. I am your host today. I'm Wendo Hamna. I'm a CashTelex investor and I'm a travel consultant by profession. Ladies and gentlemen, today I have the pleasure to host a very well-educated gentleman, Medi Walusimbi, who not only has a passion for business in crypto, but he's also an auditor by profession. He graduated recently in DevOps engineering and also made his first investment in CashTelex in 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a man who is well educated of what has to do with anything crypto related. And I believe by the end of this session, we shall all get the opportunity to carry some of what he has to share today. Please help me pay your attention to this gentleman and all will be going well. Mr. Medi, I hand the mic to you to see us through this session.
Thank you, host, Madam Hamna Mwendo. It's a pleasure to be here with you on this virtual podium, sharing the CashTelex opportunity. It's a golden opportunity to all of us here in Africa. I'm very glad that I'm with you tonight. I welcome you all for joining in, and I believe that by the end of today's session, we will have gained a lot from this presentation. All right, good evening, everyone, once again. I wanted to first play for you the video about Africa, but the technology has failed us tonight. I guess we just have to continue with the presentation, though it was part of it, but it was basically about the manipulation in Africa, how we've been manipulated from the ages of slavery until now, that you see that our currency is worthless compared to the Western world. And yet it is Africa that holds the gold and all other resources in the world. When you look at countries like France, that still up to today, their colonies are the poorest in the world. And yet for them, they are earning big from the assets or from the gold and from the uranium and everything. You just know that Africa needs a savior, and that savior cannot be any other person other than us. We, the Africans, we can save ourselves from this kind of manipulation. It's like no one can come in your house and solve your problems. It's you to solve them yourself. So that's why I introduced to you the CashTelex for that purpose. CashTelex is here to bridge that gap and solve that problem of poverty in Africa. What is CashTelex? Building a new future for Africa, as our heading goes. But what are we going to be using to solve this issue of manipulation in Africa? We are going to be using blockchain. That's what we are going to be focusing on as our benchmark to roll out or to rule out poverty within our continent. And blockchain can be defined as a digital ledger where encrypted blocks of data are stored and chained together. So that is blockchain. It is Web3 basically. So it's just like an accounting system, for example, where transactions are being recorded. But the beauty with blockchain that it cannot be manipulated, that no one can come and manipulate the system. If you're to manipulate the system, you need a lot of computer power and resources to be able for you to change transactions, because these transactions are in blocks. Each block connects to the other. So you have to use a lot of computer power and resources for you to be able to manipulate such a system. So maybe to talk more about blockchain, there is one billionaire who was asked about blockchain, and this is what he had to say. And this billionaire is Mark Cuban. I believe most of you know him. When asked about blockchain, he said that it is like in the early days of the internet, uh, like in the 1990s, those early days of the internet. For those who adopted to it earlier, when they used to talk about it or to sell it to other people on how to use it, uh, he said that they used to call them crazy. It's like in the early days of the internet where most of the people uh, saw us as crazy because this guy started up uh, booking. He started up a platform, broadcast.com, in those days in 1999. And he used to go to businesses, calling upon them to come and join him and they market with him and do their businesses with his platform. But they used to tell him, this does not work. It can never work. But a few years, he sold this investment to Yahoo at $5.7 billion, and he became a billionaire within a few years. When he was comparing blockchain, he compared it to the early days of the internet. We are barely 14 years or 15 years into blockchain, with the emergence of Bitcoin. We are barely there, you see. But how will it be 15 years or 20 years from now with blockchain? So going ahead, we see that blockchain, there is a concept of tokenization within blockchain. And the tokenization is the process of presenting real or digital assets as digital tokens on a blockchain. So that these assets are being tokenized so that they are, when somebody is buying in, they buy the tokens in small units or large units of a single asset. So that's all about tokenization, that before it wasn't possible that you could own something uh, in a group or in as a community. It would be very difficult. But here you own a portion, and that is enabled by tokenization. When those tokens you own is your share in such an asset. We continue with tokenization. Tokenization is fractional ownership, just like I said, of a digital asset or any other physical asset, like a building, for example. You can own that. You can own a fraction. You can own bricks. You can own doors or windows worth of your tokens. So you can own part of a fraction of a building through tokenization. And it also brings about liquidity. Liquidity, that before you're selling something uh, as a wholesome, like selling a skyscraper at once in a go, it might be very difficult. But when you own a portion of it, you can sell those tokens and you get out the cash. So it brings about liquidity that you can easily cash in and cash out in case you want to go out of the investment or come on board. Then it brings about transparency, that you can track those transactions from the first, just like you can track transactions, the first transaction that was made on the Bitcoin blockchain. You see, it brings also about the component of security. It brings about security and global accessibility, that anyone in the world can connect and they can have access to such resources which they wouldn't have access to, and they can buy into those assets through tokenization. It also brings about smart contracts. With smart contracts, the terms are predefined, that once those terms are fulfilled, you don't need to trust anyone. With blockchain, you don't need to trust anyone because they are predetermined terms through smart contracts. You see, that's why we call it a trustless. You can do transactions without a third party with blockchain and tokenization. So I introduced you CashTelex, that CashTelex will be still using the very same technology to empower the Africans. What is CashTelex? CashTelex is the first ethical pan-African asset-backed financial ecosystem backed or powered by blockchain technologies. This financial system is going to be running on Web3 or on blockchain, unlike the other financial institutions which exist as of now, which are using Web2. So this brings about decentralization and gives you power over ownership of your assets. That's the beauty with blockchain. So Africa can only escape from the trenches through blockchain technology. Okay, there might be other means, but as of now, the easiest way is through blockchain. That our target at CashTelex, we are our goal is to empower at least a million African households in the beginning. That's not the end of it. Just in a very few years, see, you need to create passive income for these people that they can bring food on their table. They can be able to pay school fees for their children and tuition fees. They have access to clean water. They have access to housing, as we shall see as we go on about the real estate in CashTelex. So this thing or this CashTelex or this business is developed by Africans and it is for Africans first. When we go on, we look at the CashTelex ecosystem. The CashTelex ecosystem has got a lot of businesses, or it has got a lot of products or services in it, as you can see in that picture. We have the CashTelex Go. We shall look at it. We have the CashTelex Exchange, the CashTelex loans, and so many other things are encompassing our ecosystem, which are all going to be beneficial to the investors. So I urge you all to invest now before it's too late, because once this ecosystem starts rolling out at a rate which is imaginable, you will have to regret. But if you buy in now, you won't have to regret. So when we talk about the ecosystem, it's not something new. Traditionally, it has been there, only that this time we are using blockchain, you see, to create this ecosystem. Traditionally, there is and other ecosystems running on Web2, for example, this Amazon, when it is carrying on cloud computing services, the e-commerce, all these are products or services which are offered by the Amazon, and they generate a revenue for the Amazon. But Amazon is owned by just a few individuals, so which means they take in all the profits by themselves, and yet majority of people are left to be in poverty. So when you look at the CashTelex ecosystem, it also has a number of products and services which are running, most are going to be running on the ecosystem, whereas some are already running on the ecosystem. So these services and products will be bringing in revenue to the ecosystem, and it will be a benefit for our investors. So you better buy now before it skyrockets. Drivers. Someone might wonder what is driving the growth of, or what will be driving the growth of the CashTelex ecosystem. First of all, the asset backing. This is something very powerful. The gold and the real estate. When you look at the real estate, for example, for every building has got land. Land is a rare resource. It will never increase. It is fixed that God created that. It will always be that. You see, it's a rare resource. And real estate, when it comes to volatility, it's not so volatile. Even gold is gold is money. You see, always nature has to win. Gold is money. Never depreciates in value. Always appreciates. So our ecosystem being backed by gold, that brings about growth. Then you have fixed supply of the tokens themselves. The coins, they are fixed in supply. They are 110 in supply. They will never increase, but the value will always increase, but the supply will always remain the same. As the demand increases, also the CashTelex will grow in value, or this is one of the drivers that is going to be driving the growth of CashTelex. Then we have got another driver, which is utility. When you look at the CashTelex Go, which is part of the ecosystem, that is an e-commerce platform. When you go and read about Amazon, for example, how they made billions of money during the COVID era. You see that people were buying things online. And these guys became more and more in billions, the shareholders. So the CashTelex Go is also going to give you the same product. You will be able to buy things online powered by e-commerce using the CashTelex blockchain. So that these things are delivered to your doorsteps. See, that will also determine, oh, that is one of the drivers of CashTelex growth. Then another thing, we've got the main currency in the exchange is CashTelex, our exchange. The main currency, the CashTelex is trading against all currencies. That's also something very, very powerful. When we go ahead, we look at increasing growth of CashTelex community. Uh, as the community goes on, right now we are in Nigeria, we're in Uganda, we are in Kenya, and other parts of the world. But this is not yet there even. We are not yet there. But you will see in a few weeks to come that the community will grow bigger and bigger, and people will be yearning to own part of this ecosystem. So you better buy the coins now before they are finished. You better buy now when they are still cheap before they skyrocket. When you continue, we see how uh, we look at investor revenue streams, just like I talked about the drivers of growth. So in the exchange, we are going to be charging. Oh, they already their transaction fees. Don't we? Because it's already operation. See, this exchange, the CashTelex exchange, when you go in it, you see that there are transactions which are going on and they are charged. Those fees will be bringing in revenue to the investors, and you'll be sharing part of that revenue as proceeds for your investment. Then we have the wallet transaction fees. The wallet is also there, up and running. We are talking about all these things, all these products or services, they're already running. So take the first movers advantage and acquire some coins for yourself and your family, your loved ones, and everyone close to you before the prices skyrocket. So we also have real estate. As I told you, real estate, its volatility is not high, sorry, it's low. And with real estate, you can rent out those apartments and houses to people. You generate income, rental income, and other things. You can sell, or you can, whenever each transaction is carried in the real estate, which is owned by the CashTelex ecosystem, that will be a stream of revenue. Still, you will be earning as an investor from all those products which are under the ecosystem. Then you have the gold trade, by that will that the gold trade will be enabled by the gold stores. Some of these gold stores are going to be opened up very soon, starting with Uganda, and then other countries will also be rolling out. These gold stores will be able to acquire a portion of gold by yourself, because we know gold is something which is rare, and it is it needs extreme security to be protected. You don't need to move with it. You can own part of it, and CashTelex will take care of keeping it in its vaults. See, and you can get it at any time you want through selling part of it or buying in part of it. So the e-commerce, we talked about it, like the Amazon. Whenever you make a transaction, uh, there are charges which are being charged. So like when you go on Alibaba and buy something on Alibaba, from the transaction you make, there are fees. Alibaba has a portion of those fees which are sent to him. So that is a very big stream of income. So you have to buy in CashTelex right now before all these platforms are running. Some are there, but they are not yet enabled. So you still have a chance. They are not enabled because they are waiting for you to first uh, buy out all the tokens so that you gain when the ecosystem is shooting. As Africans, that's why it's first kept for Africans before it is rolled out to other continents. Then when we continue, we see that investors are going to be getting benefits. And how are those benefits going to be shared? They are going to be shared at a sharing ratio of 80 to 20, that whereby the investors will be getting 80% of the proceeds from the ecosystem, you see, and the 20% will go back to the company so that it can acquire more assets which are backing up the ecosystem. You also have capital gains. When you buy, say now at $1 or $2, and tomorrow it is at $10 or $50 or $100, you will have also gained the capital gains on your CashTelex when it has grown in value. So it's better you buy in now before it appreciates or before its value shoots when you cannot afford it, before it is listed on other large exchanges. It's your chance now. Then you have discounted products in the CashTelex Go. You can buy, when you use the CashTelex token or coin, you can get at 40% discount. That's also another benefit to the investor. The health insurance and the instant global remittances, all such are benefits. These products we are talking about are already running, like the CashTelex, the exchange. The CashTelex Go is already in existence, just remaining to be enabled once the stores start and other products are already there, like the CashTelex, uh, the wallet. The wallet is up and running, it is functioning. You can send, you can receive, even as of now. The CashTelex cities, the Ugandan part was fully reserved, and construction is going to begin very soon. And that's when you will notice a very huge growth. So if you don't get prepared for this growth, then you will always regret why you did not buy these tokens one now when they are still cheap. And we shall be there enjoying when you are regretting. So you better buy now. That is my advice. What are we required to have? Or what do you require to participate? What are the requirements? It's something very simple. You see, blockchain is making life very easy. You just need a smartphone or a computer for you to sign in or to sign up in the CashTelex. Just need an email address also. Yeah? An email address takes like 2 to 3 minutes to create, something very simple. And then a national identification, which is valid, of course, for you to continue with the registration. And then initial investment of only $60. But why 60? Why 60 when you can afford uh, $300, when you can afford $500? People have bought worth uh, $1 million. People have bought worth $100,000. People have bought in huge chunks. And for you, you only invest only 60, really, you'll be cheating yourself. It's better we have long-term goals, which are big. You have to dream big. When you see this opportunity right now, you have to dream big that in the future, it will be very huge and it will bring in a huge returns on your side. So I encourage everyone here on this platform. You are very lucky that you are here with us, sharing this opportunity to you. So it's better you buy in now before it's too late. In case you get any challenges or you need more information about the ecosystem and how to buy the shares, you can call us in these contacts. You can call us like mobile, or you can WhatsApp, or you can join our Telegram, the official channel for CashTelex. All admins are there to offer you help. So, brothers and sisters, CashTelex is a family. So it's a family which creates the community. So CashTelex is for Africa. It's created by Africans, built and it's for Africans. So it's better you join in now and buy those tokens so that you gain in the near future, and you won't have to regret, you won't have to suffer looking forward to it. You won't have to be always worried about your people in the village, because you invested for them. They can take care of their own lives without you worrying. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to end this presentation here, and thank you for listening in to me. As we go into another session, allow me hand over the mic to the host, Madam Hamna Mwendo. Thank you for listening in.
Thank you, Mr. Mehdi. Thank you very much for that presentation. It was very elaborative. And I would also like to take this moment to appreciate our audience for being very, very interactive and very attentive. I hope this is an opportunity you can carry back to your loved ones and share with them, so that when they look back onto you, they appreciate you for what you did for them. Thank you very much. Please have a lovely night.